Hey gamers, Uzi is currently playing in the US solo queue since Worlds is being hosted in Europe this year. And so I'm taking this opportunity to review one of his games since usually I can't access Chinese solo queue games and it's kind of hard to track down his Korean solo queue account. So this is a good opportunity to finally review one of his games, given that he was actually my inspiration for starting to play AD Carry. In Season 4 Worlds, it was actually the first season where I started watching Worlds. And I remember Uzi just made such an impression on me with his aggressive Tristana. I've just been a massive fan ever since. It definitely inspired me to start playing ADC. So I'm pretty happy to get this opportunity to review one of his games. Okay, so they went for that invade to try and get kills on top side. It's pretty late into the game, I just noticed. They didn't get anything from that. Oh, they might get Diana though. Oh yeah. Cool. Alright, kill goes to Corki. He also got some gold from his Klepto. Alright. Yep. I was almost going to question their decision to stay on top side for so long, but hey, it worked out. Who am I to call it out? Okay, so Uzi's going to miss XP from all three of these melee minions. So they're definitely going to be quite a bit late in hitting level 2. But that's also not going to be a huge problem since the enemy bot lane is shoving this wave into the tower. They're not going to be able to abuse their level advantage for long. Kai'Sa also missed 2 CS. Unnecessarily. Anyway, let's talk about the matchup, shall we? Vayne and Kai'Sa. Usually, this matchup should be Kai'Sa favored, in my opinion. Because I think I would say overall the trading is about pretty similar in situations where Kai'Sa can't land her W, at least. But Kai'Sa also has much better wave clear and much better short trades without like having to commit properly. Like Vayne has to use her dash in order to get a good trade in. Whereas Kai'Sa's trades are kind of like low commitment. And her wave clear with Ki also helps her control the lane and make sure she always has a minion advantage. But in terms of the support matchup, Nautilus into Lulu. Lulu can actually do some pretty nice damage with her harass, but she's also pretty vulnerable. And Nautilus, he's just an early game monster in laning phase. He's incredibly tanky, he does a lot of damage. So basically, it's really risky for Lulu to even try harassing the Nautilus, knowing that if he just goes in on her, she might just die. So with that in mind, this matchup should really be Uzi favored. Yeah, like, right there, Lulu took her chances, not sure why exactly, but she managed to dodge the Nautilus hook. If she hadn't, that could have gone really badly for her. One of these days, those risks are not going to pay off, and that'll probably bat her in the ass. And you'll see exactly why this matchup is Nautilus favored. Okay, so she actually does get caught there, but it's just a bait because they see Lee coming in for a gank, so they just bait to help him execute that. Nautilus does take the bait. He has to blow his flash. Uzi has to blow heal, but overall, no deaths on their side. So that could be worse. Nautilus will just have to play a little bit safer right now, as his flash is down. But that doesn't really matter too much if Lee just ever happens to not be around. Nautilus seems to be wanting to try and cancel a recall. If Lee is around, this could be bad. If he's not, then I don't know what Lulu's doing. No, that just seems to be pretty free for them. Very good flash from Kai'Sa, actually. Alright, so Uzi dodges that Lee Q. That was actually a little bit pro of Uzi. He didn't realize in time that he had the kill opportunity onto Kai'Sa. Then he ends up having to flash to even try to get the kill, and she just flashes it too, so no kill happens there. Missed opportunity, but it's not too bad, at least. Kai'Sa does actually get to the lane a lot faster than Uzi here, which is good because well, she was going to miss a lot of CS there, and it's CS which Uzi is missing. So that's one advantage to taking TP over heal. I wouldn't really recommend it in a matchup like this, though. Usually you would do that in like passive farm matchups or matchups where you're going to get poked. In a matchup like Vayne Nautilus, you are going to get all-in. So people tend to... people at least tend to favor the heal in matchups like these. Might end up biting them in the ass that they didn't take it. Because they're trying to force a fight here because Corki is coming in for the gank. Uzi's too slow to actually contribute here, so Corki ends up taking a massive chunking. Yeah, this gank did not work out too well for Uzi's bot lane. Misses the Q onto Lulu, which would have marked her death. They do actually get a gank from Olaf too now, but actually the Uzi E just saves Kai'Sa there. That's not very good from Uzi. So Kai'Sa just ended up getting 3 kills from this gank. And 1 went on to Lulu too, so this was overall 4 deaths. No, was it? No, it should have been 3 deaths, I think. Whatever, they had some deaths as a result of that gank. That was 4v2, so that's pretty poor. Kai'Sa does actually just end up dying to Nautilus here, which exemplifies exactly what I was saying about Nautilus doing a lot of damage in the early game, and was also too tanky for Kai'Sa to kill him back. So, bit greedy from her, but she still has a pretty healthy CS lead. I'm assuming Uzi probably now maybe wants to freeze this, or maybe he'll shove. It's kind of hard to say which way it would go right now, so goes for an aggressive trade onto Lulu. Lulu doesn't have potions, whereas Uzi does have the refillable potions, so looked like about an even trade, which is usually not what you want to do as the ADC onto the support. But with the knowledge that he's got this potion to recover most of that back, and the fact that they're the bot lane with the engage, so they're the ones that benefit the most from both bot lanes being low. Overall, worthwhile for Uzi to take that trade. As you can see, he's already pretty much full HP again. Whereas the damage onto Lulu is just stuck. Anyway, on his back, he went for Berserker's Greaves. He actually also went for a longsword, so presumably going into the Bork. Nautilus just gets a nice trade onto Lulu there. Orcus is too far away to retaliate. Uzi is also too far away to retaliate, but like I said, Nautilus can just beat Lulu up pretty bad, so a really good trade from him. And Lulu, having already taken that trade with Uzi, now she's just extremely low. Ooh, just looking at the rest of the map though, Clad has 5 kills at 9 minutes. That's huge. But Diana also has 4 deaths on the mid lane. So both Kayle and Diana are both just absurdly behind right now. It's gonna be interesting to see which one holds back their team the hardest. Anyway, let's pay attention to Uzi. And they do actually get that shutdown onto Kled, which is good for Uzi's team. They're possibly coming for a dive on Kai'Sa here. Corki seems to have package, but Leah's around. Still, seems Lee will die. Lulu then falls to Uzi, and now, oof, good ult from Kai'Sa, but nowhere really to run. She managed to use her ultimate to actually dash over the wall. That's something at lower elo you don't see Kai'Sa's doing it too much, but it's definitely really useful to keep an eye out for when you can ult over walls, because it makes it a lot harder for enemies to chase you compared to if you just like ult normally, like not over a wall. But still, wasn't enough to save her life this time. Yeah, I was about to say. I assume Lulu wanted to cancel their recalls to give them a worse back timing, but that's not really a position you can put yourself in as Lulu. Not when you're against Nautilus. Like, you know, as I said, he has really easy engage, long range. Lulu's really vulnerable. Oh, there was just a Kled on Dragon Pit from Kled. Yeah, and so they heard the Kled ult, but didn't have the benefit of seeing on spectator mode that the ult was coming for them, so they didn't back off. And they just died of that. And Corki TP's in, but he just dies as well, because it was already too late. So yeah, Kled actually already has top lane tower. He's 7-1-2. Already has top lane tower at 11 minutes. Diana's also ridiculously behind. She's 1-6, just like Kayle. But at least her tower still has 3 platings up. So it'll be interesting to see how Uzi turns this game around. Well, him or Corki. Or both. Oh, this is probably really bad for the enemy bot lane, actually. Once Lee missed that Q, there was just no way to make that dive work. Kayle ults in, manages to get a double kill, actually, so that's pretty nice for her. Hopefully she manages to catch up. But ultimately, it was pretty unnecessary. There was just no way that that was going to work out once Lee had missed Q. That was just their signal to back off. Nautilus is just too damn bursty and has too much lockdown to make a dive work like that under tower when they're full HP. If they could have burst down Uzi like really hard, then sure, maybe. But you can't really make that happen once Lee has already missed Q. He has no way to get onto the Vayne, and he has no way to one-shot her even if he can get in range for R, so. Was a good attempt, just should have given it up a lot sooner. So he's going to rotate over to the mid lane, I guess, to try and get the tower. But they dive a Lulu. Doesn't seem like they're going to need his help. So he just goes for the Scuttle Crab. And this Scuttle Crab instead, it goes back to bot lane. Seems like his team is probably going to be rotating with him. If the enemy team is smart, they will notice that Uzi's team just wants to get bot lane tower right now since it's so low. And they do actually. Lee is here to protect against that. So we'll see if both teams stick around to try and take the tower and to defend it. Or if they just end up, yeah, looks like Olaf has decided to back. Diana's actually on bot lane. She wanted to try and cheese Uzi there. Isn't going to work out. Ooh, actually, interestingly, Uzi is actually going for the Infinity Edge on Vayne. I do that build on stream all the time, but I love crit on Vayne, but it's really like unpopular. It's interesting to see that Uzi does that, or at least is doing that this game. He also went for the Vamp Scepter, which is unusual. You don't build it that early on crit ADCs. You can see from his runes though that he's got overheal, so maybe he just thinks it's worthwhile if you have that rune. Oof. Well played from Uzi with that E-Flash. And Nautilus, he's just so tanky. They turn on to Nautilus at the beginning, but yeah. He just tanks it all up. Gives Uzi the opening to finish off Lee, and then turn on to Kai'Sa, and they get her too. So that put things pretty solidly in Uzi's lead as far as bot lane goes. Off of that, he now gets a big CS lead over Kai'Sa as he manages to shove at least part of that wave into the tower. He's already missed some other CS too. Uzi gets some extra CS. He got 2 or 3 kills there. Manages to steal away the red buff. Oh, now he's gonna flank. Clutch was up though. He's gonna turn on to Lulu. He is here too. He'll do what he can, but overall, I mean, there's a reason you don't usually see pros flanking on ADCs, even if it's Vayne. Overall, ends up getting punished for that positioning. Oh, that picks up the Mountain Drake though. So that's going to be really useful if they ever have a chance to do Baron. Nice. And now Uzi's team manages to win another fight. So yeah, it's overall it's looking a lot like Diana's going to be the one dragging her team down, not Kayle. Kayle's managed to at least slightly catch up a little bit. She got that shutdown onto Kled in the top lane dive earlier. Then she TP'd for that double kill. And she's 30 CS above Diana. Also 11 now too. So she's no longer a minion. So she's probably going to start to be, well, at least kind of useful. There's Diana. Doesn't complete an item. Level... Okay, she just said level 10. Even Uzi's level 11 and he's the AD carry. Why am I looking at Olaf? Sorry about that. Yeah. There. Level 11. He seems like he's actually going to take his chances trying to duel this Diana. Gets as close to her as possible within the stealth. And he just takes her down because she's ridiculously behind, as I pointed out. Usually definitely not a fight you would want to take. Diana even landed the Q and the double R. So, I mean, she did pretty much all she could there, but she's just so ridiculously behind it. Works out in Uzi's favor, even though he already used his dash to close the gap. So anyway, yeah, he's also gone for the Zeal. Standard on Infinity Edge build. I would be surprised if he went Infinity Edge straight into Bork, but I was wondering if that's what he was doing. It's just a bit weird to build lifesteal so early on. Oh, he actually goes into the Phantom Dancer. Usually you want to go Static Shiv second on Vayne if you're going any Zeal item second. Just because she lacks... One of her biggest weaknesses is the lack of wave clear. So Static Shiv helps you out a lot with that, but... It's definitely not a bad idea to go Phantom Dancer either, considering Kled is level 14, is still really ahead of me, even if Kayle is cut up a bit. So that extra bit of survivability is welcome. That's really aggressive from him. That was... Yeah, even the Phantom Dancer is not going to save you there, Uzi. Does seem like his team will come out on top in the fight overall, though. Yeah, really overly aggressive from Uzi to dash onto the Lulu there. I thought he was already pushing it just by not backing off. But dashing in there definitely a bit questionable. But anyway, his team does clean the fight up and they get a tower. Probably will not get much more than the tower, I assume. Meanwhile, we also do have Diana on the bot lane pushing that. So this was a 4v5 fight then, I assume. I don't think she'll get this in the tower though, so maybe she will. Uzi gets hit by the Q. She flashes to finish off the tower. I don't know about that, but I mean, I don't know. This Diana's challenger. I'm not. What do I know? But anyway, she seemed to be able to tell there was nothing she could do to kill Uzi, so she doesn't even bother trying. Just focuses on finishing off the tower. Making sure her death isn't for nothing. Okay, I don't know how this started, but that's looks pretty silly. Oh my god, Uzi. Okay, yeah, the Phantom Dancer may have just almost saved him there at least. Might have died if he hadn't had the Phantom Dancer to block a lot of damage and give him time to heal. Also, Lee did kind of mess up though, putting him through the wall. I feel like they nearly one-shot him. All he needed to do was just keep Uzi there, and I think Uzi would have been punished for that aggressive flash, but it does work out. And now it's just that part of the game where you just go for as many kills on the fountain as possible to inflate your KDA. It's more fun than ending. What the hell? That was a weird animation. Alright. I only just noticed Lulu's KDA. She actually ended up with as many deaths as Diana. She did have way more kill participation though, to be fair. But yeah, anyway, in the end, Kai'Sa actually did have some good plays, or well, I guess their bot lane in general did have some good moments. They did have like that 2v4 turn, though I believe Uzi did end up turning that back in his team's favor in the end. They also had, no, actually there was two 2v4s. One they turned back in his favor, Uzi, and the other one he didn't. So good play from Kai'Sa, and I think Uzi did actually come out on top in the laning phase in a way. I can't remember exactly right now, but I think he came out like 10 CS ahead. Right now you can see he's 25 CS ahead, ended up with 14 kills from some very aggressively played team fights, which sometimes didn't work out, other times just did end up going in his favor. That's just how Uzi plays, ridiculously aggressive. Sometimes it looks stupid, sometimes, you know, he just looks like a god. That's how he rolls. So yeah, that's Uzi. Widely considered one of, if not the best, ADCs in the world. And hopefully this game will have shown you exactly, well, he's not known for smart play, that's for sure. You could see that, but he definitely does have a lot of raw talent, which hopefully you will have noticed this game. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. And let's see, I'll probably review more of Uzi's games, to be fair. I do want to take advantage of his stay in Europe as much as I can, because I don't usually get to review his games. So yeah, probably expect to see a few more Uzi games, maybe some games from other foreign pros too. Definitely a nice opportunity to see how those challenger ADCs from other regions play. So, yep, for now, peace. Hope you enjoyed the video, gamers. Till next time.